You're out!
Hey! Whoa! Ha! Ha ha! Yeah! Yahoo!
Hey, congratulations! You found the first Easter egg on the Mo and the Big Eggs at DVD. This is Brian Roberts, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about these two tablets full of the 10 Western Commandments. If you've watched the credits, which I hope you have, you'll see that these show up at the end of the credits kind of like a gag, but they don't stay up long enough for you to actually read them. So we thought we'd give you a chance to sit here and read them and tell you a little bit about how they came to be. Basically, we were talking about the credits, and we wanted to we needed something to put at the very end of the credits. And I thought, well, what's the next part of the story that we've just told? And it's like, well, of course, it's the 10 Commandments. But we couldn't just do the regular 10 Commandments. We had to do the Western version. So we sat around brainstorming how to turn the 10 biblical commandments into the 10 Western commandments. I think Mind Your Ma and Pa is my favorite. It was also the easiest to write. So there you go, the Western 10 Commandments.
Hi, I'm Chuck Vollmer. I'm the art director.
And I'm Joe Spadifer, the other concept artist here at Big Idea.
We're going to be looking at artwork that we put together for Mo and the Big Exit. This first piece we're looking at here was put together in the early stages when we first got the script. We would sit down and read the script and discuss the different locations with the director and writers and try to figure out what we wanted the show to look like. So we basically just sit down and we have some fun and we do different kinds of drawings and paintings that we feel best show what this show could possibly look like. In this particular painting, we were trying to convey the gag that the Peas and the other characters in the film are actually making the Grand Canyon.
This was one of the probably most interesting images that was talked about in the script. Of course, everybody who knows the Exodus story knows about the burning bush, and we had a real fun time designing, and this was the first idea that we'd come up with for what the burning bush would be, which was a burning tumbleweed. The final design looked similar, but it was refined a lot more by our buddies Rob and Tom. And this was also the first attempt at drawing what the buffalo was going to look like. And some of the ideas really did stay from the beginning. I mean, the costumes of Larry has influenced the final design of the costume. The color palette is similar. So obviously this is a Western, and in the beginning when we really didn't know exactly what we were going to do with it, we just thought of a lot of iconic Western images, and of course the showdown in the middle of a street seemed like a fun thing to do, and I did it with just this scene's supposed to be like when Mo is using the staff that turns into a snake to go after Wyatt. And so for us, it was just an opportunity to explore what we knew about the West and iconic images about the West.
This image was done to try to figure out how we were going to get the parting of the Red Sea image in the show. And how do you do that when you're out west in the desert? So the idea was brought up of having them cross the Death Valley, and the idea that you have this hot, blazing desert, and how do you get across this desert? And so we came up with the idea that the cloud would come and it would snow and give them basically a path of snow to cross the hot, searing valley. And as the bad guys chase after them, the cloud would disappear and the snow would melt and they would be stuck out in the middle of this hot desert. These are the model sheets for Mo. And the first one is of Mo as the deputy that we see him start the show out as. And he's a little darker outfit, kind of the classic cowboy in a dark hat, kind of mysterious and rough and tumble. And then as he goes into exile, we tried to make him look a little shabbier and not quite so polished and everything. The Lone Stranger model sheet as well, we were able to parody him with the Lone Ranger. Once he takes on this costume, we have him put on the mask and the red neckerchief and the big white hat, and really dress him up to feel the part. Zippy is supposed to be Mo's faithful steed. Zippy was created by our artists Rob Corley and Tom Bancroft. It was a bit of a challenge to create a character for the show that actually had limbs and make it fit in the veggie world.
We promise you we can draw limbs, though. And this character here proves it. Look, he's got arms. A veggie character with arms. Only this was kind of a challenging character because the tumbleweed is is representative of God, and we don't normally do that in VeggieTales. This character is primarily talks with voiceover of the narrator and mimes a lot with his hands, which makes a burning bush a little less scary.
The color keys here are done to help us see the show throughout the different stages in color and how the color will affect the mood of certain parts of the film. Is it a sad part? Is it a happy part of the film? Do we want to keep it light and colorful? If maybe the characters are in a more difficult point in the film and they're maybe sad or frustrated, we might make the colors darker or cooler depending on the mood. It's a nice way to kind of complement the story by making the colors go along with the story. So we put this all together just as a kind of a blueprint for the show.
Now, once Chuck has done his color keys, I can have the opportunity of taking those color keys and turning them into flats in the background. And one of the ideas for the flats for the background in the show, like I said earlier, was to keep it simpler. We tried for simple, iconic shapes like some older cartoons that we'd reference, and what we tried to do is just keep them just almost like poster-like, so they read really quick. We also tried to push the caricature of the landscape a little bit. We tried to make it look a little bit more cartoony than maybe some of our previous shows had. But still, at the same time, we keep some very realistic lighting to these pretty cartoony shapes. So it brings a sense of caricature to the world, but also it feels believable because it's lit like a real landscape would be lit.
This is a landscape that we use to put behind the set. It's kind of like a play where you would go and you have the stage where your characters act, and then you have a backdrop behind it. By doing this, we don't have to build as much in the sets, and we can spend a little bit more time on the sets and make them look nicer without having to build mountain ranges and forests and everything. We can build a few trees and throw in a few boulders and things like that, and then have this set behind that, and it makes the world feel a lot bigger and a lot more expansive. Yet it makes it easier for us to focus in on the details of the set and not have to build quite so much. The night one, again, because these aren't three-dimensional sets that we can relight, if we have a change of time of day, we have to paint a new painting. And that's the only difference between doing a 2D. We have to pretty much repaint them and do them again. Whereas if you have a set and you go from night to day, it's just a matter of putting in different lights. It's, again, very much like a stage show where you would just turn down the lights and throw on some blue lights and things to get the effect that you need. We pretty much have to start from scratch when we redo the backdrops.
Honestly, I have to say that these two paintings here of the deserts were some of the two paintings that I enjoyed most, and probably all my time working here at Big Idea. It's I started right off the Chuck's keys, which really set a great tone. But then once I got working on it, the more I tried to simplify the drawing that was underneath them and make them really stylized and really cartoony. A lot of times our backgrounds tend to lean a little bit more towards realism, and like I said before, I'm really trying to push a cartoon landscape for this particular show. I think that comes across. It's a little bit, makes it a little bit different than Little Joe, but not, I don't believe, in a different world entirely.
To give things, I think, a more cartoony look, you tend to exaggerate the reality of the shape or how things in nature normally are. You take that and you exaggerate. It's kind of like a caricature of someone. You just take what's there and you kind of play around with it, and you play with the sizes and the relationship of the sizes to each other. And Joe did a really nice job of taking a lot of the tops of the mesas and making them larger, and actually putting lean on some of the mesas where they lean a lot more than what they would in reality. And there's a couple of the mesas where the tops of them are huge, and there's just no way the columns supporting those boulders at the top could do that. They would be crushed. But yet, it's it's believable. It looks like a lot of fun.
Now, the original idea was that this show would follow, like in the Bible, the story of Moses happens shortly after the story of Joseph. So we're trying to follow up the story of Bad Little Joe with Mo and the Big Exit. And one of the things that we wanted to do, though, is act like some time had passed since Ballad of Little Joe. So one of the things we did was we just expanded the scale of the town a little bit, added the mayor's office that was in the center of town, which we've discovered it was really tricky making the mayor's office look like a clock tower instead of looking like a church, because we wanted this visual of like, this is where the mayor gets elected. I'm sure there's a church in another part of the town, though. Yeah, and speaking of the mayor's office, Tom Bancroft actually did this little drawing right here. It's the interior of the mayor's office, and actually for the show, I believe we took some of those plates down and added a window back there to get some nice dramatic lighting in there.
Aaron is taking on the role of Tonto, basically. And so we took a look at images of Tonto and the characters from the TV series, and tried to come up with a costume that resembled that quite a bit, but yet worked on Archibald. It was a lot of fun putting him in buckskin. But Sally is a Minion-ite as well, and we tried to put her in a kind of a cute Indian costume. And
okay, the idea for the mayor was to make this menacing-looking character, as Nezer often is in our films.
Poor guy.
And I know. And, but basically we wanted all the bad guy characters had this dark-colored theme to them. And, I think we tried a bunch of different colors on him. We tried blue, we tried red, we tried, in between is purple. And that's what we went with. And we basically wanted to add these big mutton chops on the side that looks like it's kind of graying out a little bit. But, of course, in order to make a bad guy look like a bad guy in the Old West, you got to have the curly mustache. It's a must.
That's a good point. The bad guys in the film we made a conscious choice of making them kind of the classic cowboy as the guys in black. And you'll notice that Mo, when he starts out as a deputy, is in darker costume. And then as he becomes the Lone Stranger, he dons the lighter white cowboy hat and lighter outfit. And again, taking on kind of the classic, good guy in the white hat, so to speak. So that was a conscious effort with Joe and I to kind of go with the classic cowboy look of the bad guy wears black, the good guy wears white.
It's kind of like when he's in that middle stage of not knowing what to decide, whether or not he's going to be a good guy or a bad guy, or whether he is a good guy or a bad guy because he knocked Bill over the canyon. He's in these kind of browns, which is more of like your neutral color in between. Wyatt. Well, obviously, when you're going to design a character in a Western named Wyatt, you think of Wyatt Earp. So I tried to draw Lunt as Wyatt Earp. That was my goal here. I think I succeeded.
The Prairie Dog was a real fun character. It's always fun to get to do something a little bit different. And he's a lot of fun in the film, and you'll probably see a lot of him in the future. The singers. I had a lot of fun doing the singers. They they're kind of narrating the story, singing in a very classic kind of, singing cowboy role. And as I did the research of some of the classic singing cowboys, their costumes are about as elaborate as you can get and colorful. And they've got the little silver tips to the collars and huge belt buckles of all designs imaginable.
It kind of reminds me a lot of the stuff that you'd see at the Grand Ole Opry down here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
That kind of showmanship that you would see. And I gotta say, our voice for the lead singer, Babe, what a talented voice. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, he made the show.
I think these guys look really good in the show. It's a lot of fun. It's such a kind of classic setting as well, around a fire at night and silhouetted cactuses in the background. It was just a lot of fun. Well, thanks for checking out this section of the DVD. I hope you found this interesting and as much fun as we did.
We got another film coming out for you probably next year, and hope you come and visit us then too.
Howdy. Hi, kids. Welcome to the Mo Trivia Game. You can start with the easy questions or the hard ones. Either way, there's a reward when you get them all right.
Oh, lone stranger, they sing hi-ho, sliver away.
To tell the story of the lone stranger,
You got it right. Here's another one.
Lone stranger, please come take us away. We really don't want to stay.
Sorry, wrong answer. Try the next question.
Oh, lone stranger, they sing hi-ho, sliver away.
to tell the story of the lone stranger,
You got it right. Here's another one.
Lone stranger, please come take us away. We really don't want to stay.
You got it right. Here's another one.
with a dodgeball, nor did he try. He was content caring for his family and walking zippy.
You got it right. Here's another one.
La-ta-da-ta-da, when the earth was born, who lit the light in the dark?
God did.
That's right!
You got it right. Here's another one. You got it right. Here's another one.
I'm old. 30's the minimum. I can't do 30. I'm 80. 30's the minimum. Oh, you drive 30 at my age, you ungrateful.
That's enough!
You got it right. Here's another one.
Let's see if QWERTY has a verse for us today. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Psalm 28:7a.
You got it right.
Good job! You got all of the easy questions right!
boy.
I think I'll name you Nugget.
And if you do, one thing is true. If to kindness you are prone, you'll line your pack with bubble wrap and take that baby home.
I know. What about Mo? It's Indian for looking for gold and finding a baby.
You got it right. Here's another one.
He joined the corps, a badge he wore, zucchinis for companions. With Mom's consent, soon off he went to guard over the canyons.
You got it right. Here's another one.
But I do enjoy a good Western every now and then.
Great. Today's letter is from Wesley Thomas of Carlsbad, New Mexico. Wesley writes, Dear Bob and Larry, can you do a sequel to the Ballad of Little Joe? Your friend, Wesley. You got it right. Here's another one.
All right. Well, I won't have to sell rubber tomahawks anymore?
Not unless you want to.
I'm in!
You got it right. Here's another one.
Let my people go!
Nuh-uh.
Hi-ho, slimmer away! You got it right. Here's another one.
It's time to talk about what we've learned today.
And so what we have learned applies to our lives today. God has a lot to say in his book.
If the stick doesn't work, a dodgeball might.
No.
You got it right. Here's another one.
And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them along the way.
There they go.
You got it right. Congratulations. You got every answer right. Here's a bonus clip just for you. Thanks for playing.
Yo, Mr. Lunt here. Choose if you would like to sing with the amazing vocals of me or by yourself. Hi, kids. I'm Bob the Tomato. This is the story of Little Joe. If you'd like, I can read it to you, or you can choose to read it by yourself. Hi, kids. I'm
Hello, and welcome to my Western Emporium. Choose who you'd like to go shopping with. Who is that masked stranger? Who is that masked stranger? Who is that masked stranger? Ha ha! That feather tickles my fashion bone! How? Your 10-gallon hat looks a quart low there, rancher. We'll get you dressed up to the 9s. Or the 11s. That makes you look like a bicycle with a mustache. Choose who you'd like to go shopping with.
Hi, kids. I'm Bob the Tomato. This is the story of Little Joe. If you'd like, I can read it to you, or you can choose to read it by yourself. Hi, kids. I'm Bob the Tomato. Hi.
Hey, moms and dads, welcome to the Big Idea Studio Store catalog, right here on your DVD. Browse through our collection of VeggieTales shows and sing-along music. Kids can bring lessons they've learned into playtime with puzzles, books, games, and more. Visit us online at bigidea.com today.